Okay, thank you. That was very good. If you don't mind, we've got some questions given to us to ask. So, is that okay?
Do I have a choice?
First one, like in the classroom, say in like an RE classroom, how do you make a Muslim confident in expressing his or her beliefs in God, especially in a secular society?
Well, first of all, you can't really make someone confident. It comes from the inside. And people have different amounts of confidence. There's all sorts of reasons for that. It is good to try to have confidence in ourselves, and part of that also comes from really being solid in your belief. If you're absolutely sure that what you're saying or encouraging is correct, then you're going to be more confident in saying it. Like if I stand up here and say 2 plus 2 is 5, I think most of you, even the very young ones, will be very confident in objecting to me. So we should have the same confidence for other things that we know are true. And also, I mean, just try not to be afraid to be the minority. Imam Hussein, alayhi salam, at the time he was a minority. And there were very few people who were willing to stand up with him. But nowadays, he's essentially the majority. He's the one who everyone likes. And it's been like this throughout history, forever, basically. So even if you are fewer in number, you should still stand up for what you believe in. And I think if you do that with confidence, or if you don't have confidence, you can always fake it. People can't always tell the difference. They respond to that too. If you're willing to defend yourself and what you're saying, usually they'll sort of back down and they'll allow that. So it just comes from inside, sort of building yourself up. But I'm sure you can do it. We have a lot of very strong people in our community, and our youth tend to be very strong. And I agree, it's a very difficult society. I think it's much more difficult to do that in the face of a society which encourages secularism versus a society which is more accepting of religion. But it is important, and you might find friends in unexpected places. There might be other people who agree with what you're saying on some level, even if they're not Muslims. Maybe they practice another faith, and they also feel like their voices are not heard or respected. So just have faith in Allah, and also have faith in yourself. And again, if you don't have faith in yourself, you can always pretend.
Okay, number 2. Say you have a good circle of friends, but they do certain things that you dislike, like alcohol or going to see a bad film in the cinema. How do you find the courage and the right approach to refuse these gatherings while still keeping a circle of friends?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, ideally, you should try to have friends that don't do things which conflict with your belief system, especially alcohol. That's a very... Once you get into things like drugs and alcohol, that's a very clear line. You really have to separate yourself from people who are doing those sorts of things. And it doesn't mean you don't care about them, you're not concerned about them. You can still be there for them, but in terms of hanging out with them and being close friends, it's you have to look at yourself too. If you're not able to get them away from that behavior, you're not really helping them out by still being their friend and saying it's okay. Now, of course, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these things are all forbidden, but I'm just saying there are certain things that are clearly and obviously more immediately destructive, like drugs especially. As for the music and cinema, again, I mean, you should have friends who respect your beliefs, and if certain things are forbidden according to your religion, and this is not just an Islamic thing, incidentally, there are plenty of moral people who would agree that certain things are immoral to watch in a film, for example. I'm sure if we go back probably 50, 60 years, the majority of people will be shocked at what we see nowadays quite regularly. If you have friends who respect you, then they'll respect that. And if they don't respect your preferences, well, I know this sounds really cliche, but they're not really your friends, because a friend is someone who is going to support you and support what you believe. So I guess that answers it.
And there's, what would be the best way and the right approach to let your friends know what you believe in? Like, for example, we didn't go to school on the day of Ashura, and the next day people were wondering why you didn't come in. So what would be the best way to tell them what you were doing?
I guess just to talk about it ordinarily. If you're friends, you should be able to talk with each other. And again, if you can't talk about things, then that shows a certain limit in friendship, of course. I think it is easier when we're younger, though, because it is more difficult to be different as we get older. But younger people, and I mean younger in this case, are usually a little bit more accepting and understanding of differences. They don't quite get the whole differences thing usually at 5 and 6. And well, I guess we don't have anyone 5, do we? Well, maybe at that age. But the point is, it does get more difficult as we get older. But if people are respectful people, they'll understand.
And there's some tension in our community because some traditional people say that there should be complete segregation between men and women in all gatherings. However, in a gathering like here, like in Madressa, we see each other. So do you think that complete segregation is right? And if not, where should we draw the line?
I thought this was going to be the Tatvir question when I heard there's controversy in our community. Anyway, I think a community should do whatever they feel is appropriate for themselves, as long as you're, of course, obeying the Islamic boundaries. Obviously, no one is doing anything haram right now, so it's fine, but people should do whatever they're comfortable with and serves their needs.
Okay, thank you. That was very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Salawat.